Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's on behalf of your award-winning marketing agents, Mr. Daniel Lamas, and the team behind him of Ray White Castle Hill. I warmly welcome you to the public auction of 122 Cecil Avenue, Castle Hill. To those of you that are registered to bid to buy, I wish you absolutely every success. And to the neighbours and the spectators, we thank you for your support. The terms and conditions are here, clearly on display. In the event that we decide to exercise our one and only right to place a bid on the vendor's behalf, I will clearly announce vendor bid. Other than that, buyers, I gather that the balance of the terms and conditions are read and understood. Well, turning you now to the location itself. Well, Castle Hill, 122 Cecil Avenue, is one of those locations which has seen exceptional capital growth with potentially more to come. It is underpinned by its standout location, being close proximity to some of the finest schools in the district, that all-important cosmopolitan lifestyle meandering down Cecil Avenue there, and what about, well, the transport options there by way of the metro? Have you into the Chatswood, CBD, and beyond at a moment's distance walk there. The property itself offers 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a double car accommodation, and well, once we're perched up here, it's reasonably level through the 700 odd square metres. Daniel Lamas has been with you every step of the way throughout the last 4 weeks of the campaign. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm calling for that opening bid, opening offer. $2 million gets us. Where can we just see that number? 2 million. At 2 million, sorry, 2,200,2.2 million, number 58 there at 2.2. Who takes us straight to 2 and 3 or 4 if you like? At $2,200,000 at 2.4, sir. At 2,300,000 at 2.3. Right reply, Josh. What are we saying? 2.4 at 2,300,000, 2 and 3. Right here in the heart of Castle Hill. Look at that backdrop there of Green Up Park. At 2,300,000, here it goes, Josh. First time the money. At $2,300,000, second call.
2,350, Craig.
At 2,350, and I'll take that there. Number 56, right reply there. And here we get to 2.4. What do you say? At 2,350 behind me. At 2.4, welcome back into the bidding, sir. At 2,400,000 behind me. At 2.4, do we say 2.4 and 50? At 2,400,000, looks like they're out. Josh, your phone bidder. They've come this far. At 2,450. I'll take that. At 2.4 and 50 on the left at number 56, 2.4 and 50. At 2,450,000, that's 2.4 and a half. Here it goes, buyers, at 2.4 and 50. It's not your first auction. At 2.4 and 50, Josh, first time the money. 24 and 50, that's 2.4 and a half as I call for 2.5. Second opportunity at 2 million. Okay, I'll take that 2.4 and 80. At 2,480,000, it's short my stride there by 20,000. At 2.5, I'll take the 20 on the top, number 9, I think it is. At $2.5 million here, a lot of home for not a lot of money. At 2,500,000, right there, Phil Kelly, keep an eye on behind me. At 2,500,000, 2,530,000, 56. At 2,530,000, quite here on the right hand side, sir. That high vis you're wearing, you're not getting away too soon. At 2,500,000, 2,530,000 at 2.5 and 30. What do we hear? What's happening here? Up here in the up near the driveway there at the garage. At 2,530,000 at 2.5 and a 30 on top as I call for 2.5 and 50. 2,530,000 at 2.5 and 30. Josh, one time the money as I call for 2.5 and 50. At 2,530,000 I call for another 20 on the rise. At 2.5 with a 30 on top. As it goes by at 2.5 and 30, it goes 2,530,000 as I call for another 20 on the rise at 2.5 and 50, Josh. I need to know at 2.5 and 30, once, twice, third opportunity, 2,530,000, 2.5 and 50, number 9. At 2,550,000, that's 2.5 and a 50 on top. At 2.5 and 50, right reply, 2.5 and 50. Make a statement. What do you say, 2.5 and 50, 2.6? At 2,550,000, 2.5 and 50, calling for a 50 on the rise, perhaps short my stride.
2.575.
2.575. I was actually going to suggest that bid. 2,575. You can read my mind. At 2.5 and a quarter, 3/4 on top. 2.5 and 75 buys. One time the money here opposite Green Up Park at 2.5 and a 75 there. At second call there, 2,575. What about the backdrop? Imagine the kids playing over there at the park. Sorry, sir. I'll take the 5. At 2,580,000. At 2.5 and 80, I'll call for a 6. At 2,580,000, can we say a rise there by the 20s? At 2,580,000. At 2.5 and an 80 there. Calling for the 600 at 2,580,000. The contract rises and I'll call it the way. One time the money at 2,580. Daniel, 2,6. Strong bids win strong homes. 700 odd square metres. Don't let someone else's paddle decide your real estate future, family. Oh, there's the ball. Someone get that. Thank you, Matthew Langdon. Test your soccer skills there. 2,580,000 bid confirmed, Philip. At 2,580,000. Here it goes, buyers. It's with you. The one bid wonder, and I think it's done it. 5, 2, 5, and 2-5. Just raise the paddle.
Thank you.
Strong bid back in there. Number 56, 2,585,000. At 2,580. One time the money at 2.5 and an 85 there. Calling for another 15 on the rise to get to the magic 2.6. 2,585,000. One time the money in the second opportunity buyers. Very quiet up the back here. At 2,585,000. Second opportunity, as I call it, by 3 times. Third opportunity at 2.5 and 85. Final opportunity, there will not be a fourth as the contract rises. The phone bidder has been very quiet, Josh. 2,585, 2,590. At 2,590,000. 2,590, might I suggest, Daniel, make a statement, 10,000, 2.6. 2.5 and a 90 on top, 10 grand away from the magic 6. 2,590,000. At 2.5 and a 90 on top, as I call for 10, 2.5 and 90. Finish my sentence. 2,500. 2 million. Can we say 600? Okay, Gina. All right. 2.5 and 90 is the call. Recapping on what's on offer. Ducted air conditioning. Freshly painted buyers for 2,590,000. Move in, unpack and enjoy straight away. Let me tell you, you'll be paying a lot more tomorrow. Get those weekends back. Delete realestate.com, delete Domain, delete all those apps. No more open houses after you buy 122 Cecil Avenue, Castle Hill, well, in a few minutes' time. Permission to sell, Daniel, at 2,590,000. They've come this far. The other gentleman down here is bidding in the 5s. Double the bid, $10,000. It's the right place to be. A lot of home, 4 beds. It's got the ensuite, immaculate living. The last time this property was on the market, I had the pleasure of meeting the vendors over the last few weeks of the campaign, was some 50 odd years ago, buyers. Definitely once in a generation opportunity. Where are you going to be in another 50 years? Well, you'll be selling 122 Cecil Avenue. 2,590,000. 2,590 is the call. 2.5 and a 90 on top. Joel Simpson, can we just get some clarity from the phone bidder, please? 2,590,000. Do I have to call it away? If I have to call it away, I will. If that's going to motivate them. One time the money at 2.5 and a 90. Second opportunity at 2,590,000. Third, Josh Gordon. Final opportunity, 2 million. Josh, it's been on for 4 weeks, maybe a bit longer. 50 years was the last time ago, maybe even more. I'm 47, so 1975 or something, like 676. Gosh, it was before I was born. 2,590,000. I've called it 3 times. Okay. As it goes and the contract's rising, it goes 2,500,000. We're on the market. Those words have echoed around Cecil Avenue and Greenup Park. In the absence of any further bids, we sell to you, sir, $2,590,000. Those couple of bids you placed have done it and won it. One time the money at 2,590,000. Second opportunity, we're here to sell today. Daniel's got the keys ready to hand over. Third, final opportunity, 2,595,000. Okay, I'll take that. 2,595,000. Welcome back in. That took a while. With the next bid, make a bid. The voice is starting to go. At 2,595,000. Welcome back in, and I think they've done it, Daniel, with a $5,000 bid. They've bought the property for $5 grand at $2,595,000. Once, twice, third. Final opportunity, 122 Cecil Avenue, Castle Hill sells on behalf of Daniel Lamas. Ray White, Castle Hill, sir, can I tempt the gentleman in there? Can I tempt your clients in for $5,000? I want to get to 2.6. It's worth it every day of the week. Think of it, Jack. They'll be paying a lot. Explain. They'll be paying a lot more tomorrow. 2.5 and 95. 2.5 and 95. 2.6. Small price to pay to secure real estate today. Permission to sell. We're on the market. We're selling, and looks like in the absence of further bids, we sell to you and welcome you home. Once, twice, third. Final opportunity on behalf of Daniel Lamas of Ray White Castle Hill. We sell, and Daniel, we are. Okay, all right, so we've just doing some mathematics there. Something I was never very good at school. But lucky Daniel is very good at maths, he's helping them out. Daniel, I'm good at adding 5,000 on top, 2.5 at 95, plus 5,000, 2.6. Just show them what 2,600,000 looks like. To say it sounds a bit scary, write it down. Look at spare change. Particularly when we're buying in Castle Hill, wouldn't I agree? Look at the nods of the heads, that's right. Can I call for 2,600,000? 2.6 is the money, it's where we should be. However, happy to sell it at 95, 2.5 and 95, right behind me. The interest is here, you've come this far. Look at the little puppy dogs, imagine them over in Greenup Park running around. Yes, the beautiful little chihuahua. The other dog's called Bear, everyone. It's more of a cub, I would think. But it's good to, okay, Daniel's given us permission to sell. One time the money, a second opportunity, 2,595,000. Third, final call on behalf of Daniel Lamas of Ray White Castle Hill. We are sold. Congratulations. Well fought and well fought. To our underbidders, and there's so many of you, thank you so much. That next property is just around the corner. Get out there and, well, have a lovely weekend and good afternoon.